I am going to touch on a very, very period timing method, right? But I don't use it in fighting, right? I actually use this, and I discovered this, the value of this system is actually when I'm receiving instructions from somebody, right? Now, so many times you would have, Uber fighter presenting a real good technique, how to make this, that you do this step, you do this, and you do that, and your opponent ends up dead, right? And you listen to the words and the order they tell you this, they'll say, you do this, this, and this in that order. Then you watch the actual action, and the words and the action don't match, right? Now, it could be that they've been teaching that class for years and they've refined the shot. It could just be they're not that self-aware of what they're doing. But what I find is value in this system, right? And I particularly like it if I'm teaching, right? And I'm watching someone, I might show a particular technique, and I'm basically going, are they doing, doing this label? I love the labels, right? Are they doing it label blah? Are they doing what I just showed them, or are they doing a slight variation? Right, so in this class, I'm hoping that you're going to be able to use a period technique that came out of swordplay manuals, right? Now, I'm sure a lot of you have heard of George Silver, right? He was absolutely awesome, but he did have a moment of brilliance and he wrote it down. And that's when he actually described movement and the brain. Put it into a system which I think is really cool. Right? So, I'll show you the system. Right? First I'm going to ask you, what's this blade called?
The true edge.
What's this bit called?
False edge.
Okay, let's just adopt those terms, true and false. Right, we've now got the order of movement. Right, so there's two times in this system, true and false. Right, and because I'm dyslexic, I get things passed around. Right, my cheat way, if I hold the sword like this, right, anything on the true side of this blade, that's the truth. This stuff moves first, that's true. Anything behind here moves first, that's false. Right, there's my reminder, right, between true and false. So, first I'm just going to go through what true is. Right? If the hand moves first, right, it's true. If something else moves, it could be a step, and then the hand, it's false. Right? And so often you see when someone's demonstrating a technique, right, they don't make the actual steps really, really clear, right? And then, so people go up and go, I've got to do a step, I've got to do this move, and then I've got to do the attack. And then they actually start with the attack, and then they do the steps, so they get the steps. So, Otto, can you come here? Thank you. And the other cool thing, this system also describes the range of the fight, right? And hopefully by the end, you will understand what time fencers use, what time heavies use, and you'll understand if you go out on the other person's field and you use the wrong time, well, you're dead. Okay? So, we are now in what was probably called gunslinger range, right? I just need to move the hand. So we call this time of the hand. Right? If I'm back a little bit further, right, I've got to use my hand and the body to get in. So we call that the time of the body. Right? If I'm back further, and I've got to use the hand, the body, foot, that's the time of the foot. Right? If I have to use my hand, my body, and 2 steps, I'm at the feet. Right? So what we've got here is I can say time of, I want you to do one move in the time of the body. Right? Show me where the time of body is. Cool. All right. Now, I want you to do that same thing. Right? So time of body, but I want you to do it in false time. See this now. Don't try to get it wrong. That's really explained it. So, okay, go for it.
Like my working.
I might get it false.
Where it's false line.
You move your body first and then the soul?
Yeah, you did right. Okay, so the difference between true and false time, it's the order. Right? So true time, the hand moves and the body. Right? False, you might use the step or the body and then the hand follows. So if the hand follows, false. If the hand leads, it's true. Right? Now,
Does the same apply to your feet then? So if the feet leads,
if this moves before anything else, it's true time.
gotcha, okay.
If it follows anything, it's false. Right? And, you see some people just using their feet, they're just using their arm. Right? You shouldn't. Right? There should be body rotation on every shot. So I always say, in heavy, we use false time. Right? Otherwise, people are getting, they're just throwing weak shots. Right? So, me saying that, what do you think is going to happen to a fencer, right, if they come out on this field, because fencers have to use true time, for obvious reasons, right, you take that, right, if I try to step in and then go to I'm dead. Right? So fencers are going to use true time because they want to get their blade out, they're hiding behind it, and then they're going to come in. Right? So they're using true time. Right? And the thing that sorry?
Just about the difference between fencers using true time and
Yep.
heavies using false time.
Yep.
Would a gladesman, being point first and having to hide behind their blade, would they have to rely on?
You find like their thrust, right, depends on the individual's thrusting style. Right? Some people will lean and bend, so that would be, because they've got range, they've got time to mess with one time or the other. That's the luxury of that weapon. Right? Like what Hamble does, right? So I can get a little bit how to get Hamble, right? He actually uses his false time still, right? He'll lean in, right? And then the hand follows, right? So he'll lean in, he'll see you sort of what movement you're going to do, cramping you up, then he clears. Right? So he's still using false time, but you've really got to watch it carefully to pick that, right? Because it does look like he's using true time, right? But yeah. Oh, which reminds me, sorry, I forgot one thing. I should have started with this. Thank you, Vincent. Session 1, when I was talking about getting in front of and behind time, I got a lot of questions last night, and I can't believe I forgot this. And fencer, if they still have me. Thrust. What time is it? Right, so I'm going to ask you guys, you're going to declare this. If this weapon coming forward, this is the hurty bit, is coming forward, we were easily able to identify what's forward and what's behind. A thrust, I hope you can work out what's in front. Right? So anything past that tip is behind the time. Right? Now, I think where people are getting confused, stepping left or stepping right, it was, whether or not you're moving in front or behind at the time. Right? With a thrust, You can step either way. You've just got to get past this thing and you are behind the time. Right. So I should have mentioned that yesterday, that was mine. You look.
I've got a question, but I didn't want to derail.
No, go for it.
Knowing you and how you think, have you looked at like when one-shots happen and if that's in a particular time and a particular range, or? Because I feel like it would be true time in the time of the hand would be when most one-shots happen based on what you're saying. Because
it's very, very rare. You can do it, right? If the person is so damn close,
yeah.
right? But you can probably do it for thrust,
Yeah.
right? Not a cut to power,
Right.
right? We want to,
Face flip.
yeah,
But
right? Because even like in the stand-up current, right? So where is this? Right, so most common probably, Molineux back, yeah? That's kind of what you're thinking of. Yeah. Look at this.
Yeah.
That starts to move, that makes it false.
Yeah.
Right? If I just do this, right? Yeah. So, yeah. That's why I say it is, false, we want to, if it was just, that.
Yeah. Yeah. Fair.
Now, if this was a fencing class, what I would actually do is get everyone to stand up. I would divide you into two, one facing that way and one facing this way, right? And then I'll give you the instructions, right? And then you would do it, right? Do people want me to do that to see if you actually understand the system?
Yeah.
are you saying it that way because you think
Yeah, I know people are tired. It's been a very, very long weekend. Right.
I think making sure it would be beneficial.
Okay, everyone stand up. I want half the people facing that way and I want half facing that way. Just the hands, doesn't matter. Did everyone get that right? Return.
So do body first and then
Okay. Now we're going to do a whole lot of stuff that 16 actions do. We're going to learn false time. In the time of the feet, I want you to actually do an onside cut. Go. Just for shits and giggles, I'll now like you to use the opposite side. It's got to actually be hard, guys. So in true time it's a feet, I want you to do an onside cut. I know, I just made you look like fences. I'm going to demonstrate a technique. Right, I'm going to demonstrate a technique. And then you're going to do this. Actually, you guys turn around. You guys got to teach them this technique. They can't see it. Alright? But I can't use my words. That you have to teach them. You can use your words. You're going to use Sylvia's words to teach them how to do it.
Yeah. I was like, I don't actually have your contact though. here and I say false time of the foot. If I'm going to move my right foot down, this will still be false time. Yep. True time of the foot. Yep. True time of the foot. False time. True time. It's not
You actually, we mentioned, what we do is we mention so, you might just say, I want to put there, I want to put it up there, I want you to put it up there, right? So that's one of the benefits of actually naming it. We might know that most of my people is all based on observations we make.
Also, like they'll say what stands,
Yep.
inherently then says like, they have to say it like the left foot forward, and they'll say like, give me one.
So
That means,
you might ask me what
no, we're asking like, how do you tell from, you have to set up something
so, if I'm holding your weapon in this hand, right, and I have that foot forward, this is known as an offensive. Right? It is back. I'm happy to come back next year and do a fencing lesson.
That's more so.
You say, oh, we wouldn't want to talk about the time, I think that's the use. If we always describe a weapon foot forward or shield foot forward, time of the foot, false time of the foot, which means take a step and then hit it, not that you get to go true time of the foot.
Yep.
You
I
typically find
I mean,
fencing systems.
If you're fighting against someone with a longer weapon, you might.
Yes, good point, good point.
and you describe whether the time of the foot is the front foot or the back foot.
Well, the thing is just well, with silver system, time also describes distance. Yep. So, from me to Everard, so Everard to what time am I at? On the feet.
If I
Maybe foot, yeah.
I mean, if I want to,
Another way of actually probably answering your question better. Okay. We always know that the attacker's guide, we want to hit the person, right? So as we go back into a dart, right? If I say in time foot, right, and as I'll just adjust the range, as is aware, stay, right? If I say the time of foot, right, and as is already stepped up, if I step off just the front foot and down the range, right? So yeah, it's gonna have to be a passing step. So to a certain extent they understand that they base level of knowledge that you want to hit the person and that's just like, I've been told to kill it.
You're getting played off, come on.
Yeah, we're going to